Karan, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Excellent. Welcome to episode number 18 of Lessons from Leaders. Today, my guest is Karan, who's a curious entrepreneur. Karan, welcome.
Thank you, Emo. It's pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to the conversation and sharing some valuable information with the audience. Yes, I'm pretty excited.
Thank you very much. Now, before we jump in, just give people a quick, brief explanation of how we met.
We met at a networking event at the Entrepreneurship Center at St. Mary's University. That's where I do my bachelor's in accounting. I'm a fourth year student. And that's where I got to know Emo. He's a very nice person, a foodie guy, and a person with a lot of humor. That's what attracted me to him. And yeah, that was the place where we met. And I'm glad we met and we connected this way. And I'm here with you doing the podcast. So really
Excellent.
grateful.
Well, I'm glad you came on. So, Karan, you are an entrepreneur. I've seen some of the things you've done on LinkedIn and all, and you continue to find ways to push yourself forward and also find ways to innovate. Now, I'm hoping that somehow in this podcast, you'll be able to share some of that so that people who are listening and want to try to do what you're doing could get some kind of an example from you to move on with what they're doing. So, can you talk a little bit about that?
So I myself is I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship itself because entrepreneurs are those who solve problems, create a lot of value, and help people. So that's what aligned my goals and my values, right? So uh, right now I'm pursuing a startup that is called Econova Store, which deals with sustainable products. So my goal is to sell the eco products to all the restaurants, to the bakeries, to all the quick service restaurants, and solve the problem of sustainable packaging to lower the price and be affordable for everyone. So that's the goal for now.
That's great.
And it is gonna be for now import export business, and I will be having my own warehouse, distribution, uh, and my own logistical services because I was in a logistical business in my previous startup, so that
Right.
kind of give me expertise to manage both the things all together and make this business work out.
Okay. So I see a big e-commerce play in all of this. Is that correct?
Yes, so that would be the second platform I want to use, e-commerce, through my website and all the marketplaces. First, I want to do it as a physical store business because it's going to be B2B, which is going to
Okay.
be collaborating with local cafes, local food trucks, local pizza stores, just to revolutionize the packaging offerings to the places itself, which will be eco-friendly, compostable, biodegradable, everything that is related to natural elements. This is what I want to bring it to the market.
Okay. If a restaurant came to you today and says, Karan, I like what you're doing. Can you supply? Do you have a timeline as to when you will actually start this supply portion of it?
Yes, I do have the timeline. So that would be next year after April 2025, because that's when I graduate. Hopefully, I graduate with flying colors. And
You will.
that's when I want to do this full time. As of now, I am doing it part time, and I'm building my website itself. I have my brochures and business card ready, and then I will move forward into incorporating it. I'm at phase one right now,
Okay.
gathering all the important data and information. So let's say I walk into a cafe and go and do a survey. So I'm right now doing surveys, going places to places, talking to the business owners. What's the need and what's the necessity to find a PMF, that's called product market fit. That is where it's going to come into the play. Once I've identified what is going to sell and where to put money in, then I move forward into pitching and moving to investors and stuff, and then connecting all the dots and making into a reality.
Okay. That's good. So how do you find motivation or the drive to do all of this that you do? Because you do a lot. including you just told me you're a runner also, and you have time for this and time for that. So how do you balance all of this?
So that's a very interesting quest that I myself exploring these kind of seas here. So how I started was building my habits. I started with doing 5 habits every day consistently. That set my tone, first of all. So I'll give you an example here. So
Okay.
how I started was to perform. So my goal was to perform at a highest level. So to perform, I first started reading books. So first what I do is I wake up, I have a routine. I drink some hot water and lemon. That's my routine. I never change it. I read book right away. No cell phone around it. Then I do my extra certifications beyond my education, like something that is skillful, that is giving me skills, something value addition. Then I do my coursework, my education. Then I work on my business. Then I go for my exercise and make vlog. So these 5 6 things I do consistently to build. Once they become a habit, you start automatically performing, and it doesn't look like it's a burden to you. You automatically do things then. Yes, so that's where I find motivation itself.
Okay. Well, that's a good one there. So if you had to talk to somebody who says, you know what, I haven't started any habits. And how long does it take to kind of form a habit? I've heard things like 21 days or 30 days or whatever. So in your experience, what have you found to be the secret that helps you lock in that habit and keep it going on?
First, I'll start with a secret that is already in the research. It takes 21 days to break a habit or either to build a habit. Exactly 21 days, depending, of course, on circumstance and individuals, but it's the journal number, first of all. Second, start it slow. Do not take everything all together that you have to do it today or you have to gain everything in single day, because Rome wasn't built in a single day, right?
Sure.
And I'll give an example here. I started running 1 year and 2 months ago, exactly in June 2023. I started just walking 2 kilometers. And this year in May 2024, I completed a marathon.
Wow.
That all began from single habit building, walking itself. So that tells consistency itself can play a compounding role to achieve bigger goals.
Right. So is this consistency also with the time of the day you do everything? So do you drink your lemon water at a certain time of the day? Do you exercise a certain time of the day? Do you try to keep that consistent time of the day, or does that vary throughout the day?
That gets varied, but usually it's around evening time, because I want to be because my circuit rhythm, that's like sleeping cycles and stuff, works
Yes.
towards evening time, and that's where I feel more productive doing stuff. So it depends on individual, but having a set hours of the day would be ideal for me. That's where I'm struggling, but I'm working on it. But that would be ideal for sure.
That's
Yes.
good. I know that from talking to you earlier, and you do a lot of things to help out people. Could you just give some examples of that? Is that motivation? Is that just training, or what is that? But give us examples of how you help people, even as you're trying to build your journey and you're trying to go on your journey.
So first, I'll start with my own personal goal that I want to do. I basically, for first and foremost, I am really glad I met you, because you are the motivator. You are someone that is I'm definitely gonna be following for a long, long time, because I saw your startup, Ejitech, that exactly does what you are doing, and I want to do. For me, how I am starting, how I want to put an impact is I have started a motivational page. I write quotes and content, try to be as consistent that as I can. So there's that. And plus, I put vlogs. I record myself. I journal my journey of my exercising and doing workouts. That's kind of motivate a lot of people.
Well, you know what? I can relate to that because that's the same thing that drives me. It's not about money anymore per se. It's more about, how many people could you help along the way to do better. And somehow I know the universe figures out that I should get paid for, one way or the other, right? I see my YouTube channel growing. I see, and my subscribers tend to be, very, very loyal, and again, because I try to help them too, right? So yes, I think the legacy is how many people can I help? And whatever happens after that happens. But it makes me happy, just as it makes you happy to help people. And I think that is the main goal. Everything else is just icing on the cake. It's bonus, right?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah. Today itself, and plus I want to add one more thing. I have a entrepreneurship and coffee. That's a club. So I want to help entrepreneurs as well in a specific area so that we can collaborate. So I have a motivation, beside motivational page, I have entrepreneurship and coffee Instagram page. That's a club. You can find it on Google too. So
Okay.
that's a club where I want to collaborate with all the local or national entrepreneurs. So I'll be running social events at
Okay.
cafes to collaborate with entrepreneurs itself, to talk about ideas, to talk about value addition, what I can add, what someone else can give it to me, networking, finding co-founders, that's a big one, finding a team. So that is something I'm working on as
Well,
well.
I'm going to want to join that club, right? So you're
And
gonna have
plus
to give me all the
coffee's on
links.
me, and coffees is on me as well.
Oh,
Free
win-win.
coffee. You take anything, like that's my motto, like free coffee on me. And it's a networking event. It's called entrepreneurship and coffee, and I post a lot of stuff on there. So today's post was, wealth is a byproduct of value creation.
Okay.
So that's
Yes.
exactly what you are saying here. If you create the value itself, do not chase money. Money will chase you. It's just a byproduct. Wealth will come.
This is
So
very,
that was, yes.
very rich. I can relate to that. So I am joining that club. And I'm also going to get the link for that and also the link for your blogs. And also we could have that in the description of the video so people can go there. So you make sure you send that to me after. Well, that's
Yeah.
great that you do that. So tell me, what have you found? What are some of the challenges you found coming in here as a new person to the country, and how have you overcome them?
So my journey begins in 2016 when I came here on a student visa. And originally I went to Barrie, Ontario. That's where I went for my diploma for my 2 years in business accounting. I have
Okay.
this diploma with me. I graduated in 2018, and as every entrepreneur's dream, to chase the PR and chase the citizenship, of course. I know it's just a lot for newcomers, and then, setting up everything all together and building stuff. And then comes my first startup, that would be Titan Couriers. So that is where I did my last mile delivery services, logistical work, and I was working with two companies here in Halifax locally. We were distributing pharmaceuticals to Costco, Walmart, Sobeys, all the big stores itself, and was also third-party service providers to Amazon and other companies itself.
Okay.
So yeah, so these kind of things I want to help people as well, because if I can do, you can do it as well.
True. That's true. That's good. And I always said sometimes it's easier for people to follow an example as opposed to try to figure it out themselves. And I guess again that's kind of why I do a lot of what I do. It's there's some things I figured out. I don't have all the answers. I have some answers, but maybe some of those answers could help somebody do it a little bit better or faster or
Yes,
easier, which is
easier.
the same thing that you're doing too, correct?
Right, right. Yeah, nothing. See, how I see life is, if I, so someone has to do it. Someone has to do the business. Someone has to become a doctor. Someone has to become a dentist. Someone has to become an entrepreneur. Why not you? I can become an entrepreneur. I can become a dentist. I can become an engineer. It's just within yourself. You are yourself holding back, or you yourself holding you front. So as I said, I did my first business, and I had a lot of people with immigration stuff as well in my first business that I'm proud of, and God gave me that position to help people, and that started my fire of motivating people. That started my fire of entrepreneurship itself. That's where all that began from. And that was just the starting. And moving forward in the time, I'm now building my second startup, that is Econova Store itself. And networking a lot of great people with on this journey, and will definitely do great things. That's for sure. I know it's just about self belief.
Yeah, so that's why I wear the bracelet. And like I said,
It's self affirmation, right?
yes. I have a video that I'm going to do on that a little later. I want to take care of you and and all the entrepreneurs first, and then I'll do mine. But it's just to show sometimes you need something that you could look at, whatever that is, that reminds you of why you're doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter what anybody says in your ear. It's you know why you're doing what you're doing, and then that pushes you on to keep on doing or taking the next step. And it's not a case of feelings, I don't feel like doing it or whatever. It's you do it because it has to be done, right? Feelings is for something else, right? But so we do it because it has to be done. When you're trying to run, you get up and run, not because you feel like. You just do it because it has to be done. And
Yes.
as you said, after you've done that long enough, it becomes the habit that you just do it anyway, right? And so that's great. Excellent.
I always say this. That's the biggest quote I always remember. If you aim for the stars, you'll touch the sky. Because if you anyways aim for 100%, you'll at least land at 90%. So just give a shot.
Right. Yeah, I know. And as an entrepreneur, I always say that you have to be okay with failing at things, because
Yeah.
failing in the sense of an entrepreneur is it means you tried something and you learned something from it, which means you might try it again some more, or you might try something else, but you always learn, right? So we try things because we know we might fail or we might succeed at them. But the biggest failure is if you don't try anything and if you do nothing and if you don't learn from, each failure, which is a teaching experience, right? So what are your thoughts on, you knock some things out of the park, you win at some things, you lose at some things, but everything is learning. What are your thoughts on that?
As I said, failure is just so how we put is success opposite failure. No, it's not like that. Actually, failure is the part of success. It's just the sub part. It's never
Yes.
the opposite. Failure, when you fail, it's when you learn. And learning is the most important part. If you're
Yes.
not learning, you're not growing. And being curious is the most important part of it. If you're curious, then only you explore things, then only you get to know people. I'll give you an example here with us, you and me, right? I was curious about this competition I went to. There were a lot of great entrepreneurs. I was curious what everyone is gonna pitch. I was curious who all would be the judges. I was curious about how this works, these events and stuff, because I want to run my own entrepreneurship and coffee club, right? So I was curious about learning. I was curious about meeting people, and that's where it landed me on the podcast with you, and networking with you on LinkedIn as well. So these are the things you have to do. Being out of the comfort zone, first of all, is the most important thing. If in the comfort zone, you're not growing, that's for sure. So you just have to be curious. You just have to be keep asking questions and keep learning.
Right. So I would imagine you have some kind of a journal or a target of the things you want to do. And so it's all scheduled or planned to a point,
Yes,
with some degree of slack because life happens, right? But
right.
but so is that something that you do? You have a lot of things written down, or
Yes.
how do you keep yourself in line? How do you keep yourself accountable?
So how I work is short-term goals and long-term goals. So those short-term goals is most important ones. I'll tell you why. So I mentioned previously that I do 5, 6 certain things every day,
Right.
habitually, on consistent basis. Because what we think about winning is we have to win a competition or we have to win long term in the life. No, you have to win every day. The battle is every day. Why I'm saying that is, let's say I don't feel like reading book every day. I don't feel like vlogging every day. I don't feel like going in front of camera every day editing, every day uploading, doing certain things. Those are hard. But I'll tell you one thing. Once I do those things, the accomplishment, the byproduct, the result are really great. So that's
Right.
what keeps me hooked up. Because when the reward system of your brain kicks in at the end of the day, by just looking at throughout the day, yes, my day was productive. That's where you keep doing things consistently, become better, better, better. And that's how you are just basically better. That's all. You
So
just become better.
each completed day is fuel for the next day.
Yes. So there was this English cycling team. So their coach told them one thing: you just have to become better 1% every day, and at the end of the year, you will become 33% better of a human being as you were in the beginning of the year. So imagine you being one third better, just doing things those are hard and consistently every day, just for 1 year, you'll become one third better of yourself at the end of the year. Imagine that.
That's true. That's powerful stuff.
30% better of
Right.
what you're doing, of what your podcast you're doing, of what your business doing, of what you are taking your education, of anything you're doing, you'll become 30% better overall. That's a very powerful thing.
Indeed. I know I heard, most good things, I guess it was put this way, most good things are uphill, and if it was not that case, then everybody will do it, right? So, but of course, when those things become a habit, then even though it's uphill, it doesn't feel like uphill anymore because it's become a habit for you, right? So, what are your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts on that is, a wolf is more dangerous that is climbing the hill than he's on the top. So I would mention here that if you are climbing, if you are in the chase of learning things, if you are just moving, just showing up, because someone who has achieved it, or someone who thinks that he has done, he's grown enough, that person will stop. But the person who is climbing the hill, the person who is going up, will definitely cross him and out competition him pretty soon, and will regret why I stopped and stopped growing. So the most important thing is keep pushing yourself, keep telling yourself that you just have to push, you just have to move, and you just have to show up. It's not important you have to give your 100%, because some days it's okay to show up, it's okay to just come in and just do whatever you feel like.
Right. So a few steps every day is better than no step, right? So on the day you don't
that's
feel well, you just take a few steps. At least you took a few steps.
that's very right, that's very true.
That's good. I like that. Well, look, the way you're talking, like I said, I have to join this coffee and entrepreneurs, and I have to see the blogs and all of that. So I'm looking forward to all of that, right? Now I'm glad we're keeping in touch, and I'm glad you also understand that I'm here to help you. Just as I'm sure if I had an entrepreneurial thing that you could help out with, you'd be glad to point me in the right direction, because again, I'm just learning also as you are, and I like that. So I hope with all of this that we stay in touch, and I want to see all your businesses shoot out to the moon and then some, so that we could all dance and celebrate, as you continue from that to the next journey that you're going on, because it's a constant journey. And I think the secret is to enjoy the journey. It's not the destination, it's the process. Because if you enjoy the process, that's where you spend most of the time. Then you have a good time and you have a good business, and you wake up and you feel like you're doing something that's meaningful, which at the end of the day is what I think life is all about, right? And as people who moved here from our countries to come here to try to do things, it's great to see entrepreneurs do their thing and
Yeah,
believe that they could do better and reach higher. So that's great, right?
that's really great, that's really powerful. I mean, yeah, when you when you sit with like-minded people, when you are in touch, or let's say in their aura, definite something definitely touches you up. Like something definitely, it's just something about people, those who are successful, those who are doing things, those who are hard workers, their aura would be very different. Always, always. So my goal is always just to network, just to be among the tribe that is doing something, that has a growth mindset. And that's where this entrepreneurship and coffee club comes in. That's where I want to integrate every kind of entrepreneur in any sector, anyone who is coming new, anyone who is old in the business game, anything like that. I'm happy to network. I'm happy to host you guys, and that would be perfect. That would be perfect. Definitely.
Okay. Well, this sounds like a good place to wind this up. I will help you in connecting to these clubs and things you talked about. They sound like what we need. You know, I think that all of us finding spaces and places
Right.
to build our entrepreneurial backbone, so we're stronger.
That's right.
That has my vote. So I look forward to participating and helping out in that. I think we can grow that into whatever it is you want it to be, right? So I'm going to give you the last words. The floor is yours. You can summarize and end this whichever way you want, because this is all for you.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for my letting my words out to the world, and I'm really grateful for this of you, Emo. And at the last, I would like to mention is, at some point you have to choose between being happy or being right.
All right.
So it's upon you what you have to choose, right? It's either being happy or either being right. That's all. There is nothing between, nothing left or right. So I would like to say that I came in as immigrant, and my dad said this when I was leaving the airport, when he was seeing me off. He told me, today you got three luggages and your backpack, and you're going to this new country. Have fun. That's all. And I still keep his words. I remember his face. He was looking at me. He was saying bye bye at the airport, and I was 18 when I came. Now I'm like 26 something,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
But and in between, when I see the timeline, what things I have done and what I'm heading towards the greatness, towards something that's gonna be meaningful, even beyond me, even when I'm gone from this world, that is where the legacy comes in. That's what my focus is. I'm just narrowed towards certain things, not wasting my time, and just pulling out value as much as I can and giving back. That's all.
I like that, and I also want to meet your dad. Sounds like a great guy. So, so that's good. Excellent. Well, look, Karan, thank you very much. Yes, we're certainly, definitely going to be in touch, and we're gonna do big things. So I'm looking forward to all of that. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing your wisdom with my listeners and yours also, because we're trying to build everything together. It's not just for me or for you; it's for all of us. So thank you
That's
very
right.
much. I appreciate all the things you do, and you keep on doing them. And as your dad said, have fun.
Have fun. Exactly. Right.